Hello YouTube and Infinite Magic Grade players. So today's the last day of Broken Lands. What we're going to do is show you this new team that we've been using. You'll see it in the history here a little bit. It's Big Jack, Little Jack, Bunny, Lydia, and Beatrix. Beatrix is the new limited that we just recently got, and she is really strong in this content. She applies the speed down like Santa does, and she gives you a lot of damage increase through like piercing and etc. So she's been doing a lot for us. As you can see, we're about to take number one when we finish our attempt. On manual, this team is insane. We'll just do a couple of skip tests right quick, but this team is on skip. It can test for me between like 80 and 130. 80 and 130 billion, so it's like such a huge variance, right? It depends a lot of RNG, who dies, so on and so forth with the skip. And we have been lazy for the past, I want to say 5 or 6 days now. We've just been skipping it, so I've been able to see like a lot of ranges. But as you can tell, this is an easy 100 billion team if you were to manual it. So what we're gonna do is just showcase what we're working with. So we'll start off with the builds. Let you see exactly what we're using. Mastery Surge on Bunny, decent speed, healing effect, Henge Stamp. For Beatrix, we're using Recovery Horn because we are doing a lot of damage, so we do need some form of sustain in here somewhere, and Beatrix seems like the candidate for the Recovery Horn. So we're running Speed, Effect Hit, on her with the her signature stamp. Jack and Roll, we're running with the signature stamp. Typical build, Skill Master, Speed, HP, things like that. Lydia, we're running a Effect Res build. We've got about 130 res. Not so much into the attack or anything else. That's just kind of a byproduct, I guess. We're using her own signature stamp because, as I mentioned in the last Broken Lands video, the where is it? The 32% chance to block the control effect is really big. So we like this stamp for her. We want her to try and avoid control if she can. But it's really hard to with this team because the boss just scales so high once you get doing these kind of numbers. And then for Little Jack, same as the last video that we made, we're running a crit rate, crit damage, mastery build. This would be the one. So let's uncheck the skip here and let's just get right on into it. So on manual, the highest damage that I've done so far is 149 billion, but typically it averages around 120, 120 to 130. There's a lot of RNG that goes into it. So we're leaving it up to fate to see what this ends up being, and just show you guys how we go about playing this. The blue egg before the stun from the boss, very useful. So like one of the RNG elements right here is the S4 becoming available. So that's one more S4. That's like, I want to say it's about 700 million damage than what we should be, comparatively speaking. So I very much meant to press the blue egg there. That's a big rip. It's fine because the bullet chase will proc, so it wasn't a total waste. Now we should have the red back. Yeah, we can reutilize it here. I definitely should have went with the blue egg there, but you know, mistakes in RNG will determine what happens. Oh, the cleanse from the Beatrix actually came in really clutch there. We're basically using the BJS4 whenever we can, and we're still trying to keep track of our bullet chase, but that's nothing new. One tricky thing that we have to work around is once our damage gets up to a more unreasonable number, we have to really prioritize the bunny yellow egg, because when people die we lose more damage than if we do from trying to like optimize the bullet chases. 6, 7. And that was another lucky RNG that we had that available, because we shouldn't have. Another good thing about this yellow egg is the amount of leech potential that you get. So not only do you heal from the recovery horn, but you also get a lot of regeneration back from the skills being used. Like he'll heal just a tiny bit from his pursue. Lydia's gonna go almost full. No, actually full. And then the Beatrix skill heals up our two guys there, so. Right here we should be dying anyway, so I'm not super worried about the yellow egg. I guess we do get to use it. Yeah, so 140 billion, that's what we're locking in as our last attempt. It's not our biggest damage, it's not our smallest damage. Like I said, the highest that we hit was 149. But, you know, it's not bad. This is the first time anybody's ever hit 1 trillion damage. We were the first. But we had several people also break that threshold this rotation. We had Vidar, Catch-A-Lot, Steppen, Silly Cloud, Gumi, Bailey, and me. We all broke the trillion. But that wraps up Broken Lands. There's no more attacks left. Nobody can pass us here. Unless Taxus can do no, that's a joke. But yeah, it's that's the team. I think that Beatrix has a lot to offer in her kit. We found so far a lot of testing that just her damage increases are great. I mean, 40% piercing. And then she has a skill chancing or skill damage increase as well, right? Increases direct damage in DOT by 18%, so that's both parts of Jack's kit. Plus 12, so 30%. 30% direct damage and DOT, which is both parts of his kit, right? 40% pierce, which is the direct damage part of his kit, and then I believe skill damage up to 45%. So we're at, oh man, because we're under 200%, we're at like 30, not 36, but 27% skill damage for this. So this could be increased, and now that I think about it, I probably should have found that extra 2% effect hit, but we could get it from the sanctuary, I believe. No, we just got effect hit, so it'll be a little while before we get it, but that's the team. This is going to be the new meta for Broken Lands. A lot of people will hopefully be hitting 1 trillion next season. Bushido did seem to take the #1 spot this time, and we had a lot of players in the top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10. 60% of the top 10 was Bushido, so really proud with what we've done. And really impressed by this new team, honestly. There are a lot of people using it now. I think we started out with Jingle Bell, or a few people started out with Jingle Bell, but then we started pumping out crazy numbers with the Little Jack, and that team kind of took over. Yeah, everyone's using the same team now. So really there's Oktar still using the Jingle Bell, but really I don't want to say there's very much of a trick to the team besides having the proper exclusives and the proper gear. The biggest trick, I guess you could say, would be timing your bullet chases the best that you can, and knowing when to use that yellow egg and when to prioritize yellow, red, blue, things like that. But there's not a lot of what this fight's going to entail for any individual is going to be practicing it on their own, because you're not going to be able to match everybody's speeds exactly the same. So when you start throwing in speed up, speed down, so on and so forth, and all your tunes are just a little bit different, your rotation or cycle of skills, all that may vary just a little bit. So you'll have to experiment and kind of start to feel things out, timing wise. I don't think that I'm going to do anything to further optimize this team. I think that's it. I mean, the only thing that I guess I could do is some more stars to this, and maybe I was definitely experimenting a bit with the Bunny Echo. The only problem is that this Echo does give me a bigger damage boost just based off of the fact that the Bunny Echo is 0-star. So I think that maybe if I were to get a 5-star Bunny Echo, I might put that on her instead and see how that works. But for now, this is just going to be it. Let's see, if there were 13 attacks, I think, realistically, if I weren't skipping all of the past 4 or 5 days, right, we could probably be somewhere around the 1.8 trillion range. We went just under 1.5, and we lost a lot of damage by our skips. Maybe 1.8 is a little bit big. 1.7 might be it. 1.65 even. But either way, I highly suspect a lot of people will be running this team, and hopefully, we see a lot more people over 1 trillion. This is a big milestone for me. I think for the game in general. I remember when this content came out, and we had teams, and this was with Melkio. I think we were turn meter manipulating the boss and hitting like, what was it, 30 billion maybe. Like that was a big deal back when this content came out, and now we've got teams, whether it be the Beatrix version or the Santa variant, they hit 100 billion. So we've come a long way. I think that something that I might consider, because Crit Jack does do really well, particularly in this content because of how the blessings work. But I'm really considering building a Crit Jack for like dungeons, because when we put him in his normal gear, he's still really strong. But he's not so much crit oriented as he is burn damage oriented. We'll show the build real quick. This is what we're using for dungeons, and we still have a decent crit rate. Like 74% is not a small crit rate with 250 mastery and 57.7 attack. It's not small by any means. But with that said, I mean, I really like to consider focusing more on the crit rate, crit damage. Just because I think that you can build Jack this way. I think you can build him high into crit rate, high into crit damage, high into mastery. It's very similar to Barry, in that kit, but building Jack in this fashion, I think it really optimizes what his damage could be. More so in Broken Lands because of the modifiers, but that's, we've already been over that. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to fix our gear right back, and, we'll call it a day. We have been working on a Marius 40 team. We're really close to completion there. I'm thinking that maybe after reset, when the black market opens and I can grab a few things from it, that we might be able to put that team together. Currently, we're getting the boss down to like 8%, 10% approximately HP. So we're gonna test a few things with the with the black market, the little goodie shop whenever it pops up, and we'll see if we're able to craft that Marius 40 team. If we do, we'll share it with you guys. But until then, we'll thank you for stopping by, and hopefully catch you on the next one. And I think we've got some interesting things coming up. Yeah, the Fair Arena, this consumer gift, which we've been wondering about. We've got a guild boss, which is like the first one in months that we've had. We just finished up with the double FA, so lots of good stuff headed our way. And, can't wait to see what's coming. All right, peace out, bye.